Good evening, Mayor and Council. Tonight is our annual report for the Human Rights Commission to give you an update on what the events have been and proposed. Before I introduce the chair, Ken Fonts, I just want to put a plug into those that are listening. We currently have 4 vacant positions. So if you're interested in joining the Human Rights Commission, please go to the city's website and we will accept any applications as the mayor will vet all those through him. So we're currently seeking people interested in joining us. I want to invite Ken up at this point. Turn it over to you, Ken.
All right, thanks, Chief Duke. So, good evening, Mayor Lambert, City Council members. We have had a busy, active year this last year. And on the 4 vacant seats, I just want to comment, it does make it easier to get a quorum at the meeting stuff. But no, we would prefer to have the extra hands to get things done. So first of all, I wanted to start with the Northwest Coalition for Human Rights. We've been working on this for the last year, and so this is the coalition of human rights groups and individuals interested in human rights that covers 5 counties in northern Idaho and 2 counties in eastern Washington. And right now at this point we have 21 organizational members and 45 individual members in it, and so we're still growing on that one. We use it for educational purposes and communication to facilitate communication so people aren't duplicating efforts. We can help each other for bigger events, that types of things. We are planning a human rights small convention in October that we're in the process of doing. It will be held in Spokane. And the Moscow Human Rights Commission is seated. We have a seat on the executive committee to run the coalition, and we actually have the president's position because I'm president of the committee. So that gives us quite a bit of clout in the organization, right at this time anyway, for the next 4 years, because that's my term. But we're active. We're hoping to hold some more educational conferences and so forth as we get this up and running better. This last year, we held again the Ismat and Manan Sheikh Community Unity Award at the 1912 Center. And the award this time went to Carla Kapler for her years of work in human rights in Latah County and in Moscow in the community. And so we had a nice turnout. It was a beautiful event. She was completely surprised. They kept it completely secret from her. She actually wasn't feeling well that night, but they convinced her to come anyway, and she was grumbling about it until she got there and then ended up winning the award. So it was quite a surprise that we were able to get her out of the house and come because she had a cold. Whoops. There we go. We also combined with the University of Idaho Women's Center to screen the Girl Rising film about girls' education around the world. It was a sold-out, packed house at the Kenworthy with 330 people in attendance for the film, and we had to turn people away, so it was about 3 weeks later shown again. Another group brought it in because we had to turn away so many people at it, and so it was an extremely well-attended group, and we partnered with the University of Idaho on that one. We then later would have a social justice forum to follow up the discussion from the film that was held here in October of last year, and we had a excellent panel and a wonderful discussion on the importance of educating girls all over the world and here as well, some of the issues that come up with that, and so it was a really interesting discussion. And I got to admit, personally, I was moderating it, but I actually didn't want it to end because the conversation was so good, but it was getting closer to 9, and so we had to wrap it up. But we had some, we more or less had to chase people out of that one because they kept wanting to talk about it. We also held a educational forum on the anti-discrimination ordinance dealing with sexual orientation and gender identity and expression. That was a turned out crowd, and there were quite a few questions and discussion that resulted from that as well. We mainly did this one just to inform the public a little bit more of what this ordinance meant, what was going on with it, the background of it, those types of things. We've partnered with the Latah Human Rights County Task Force again for the Martin Luther King Human Rights Breakfast, and it was a wonderful turnout at that and quite successful, and I know several of you were in attendance. So we had great music at that one with Simba and friends. And then interim President Dean Burnett did a nice talk. The mayor gave the awards for the art and essay contest. And so our usual good turnout. The Latah County Human Rights Task Force does a wonderful job in setting this up every year. Lots of volunteers from all over, and we're very happy to partner with them on that. And then our Les Purse, who gave an interesting talk and played a few songs while he was at it while we were there, so that was real interesting. We then would hold in March a poster presentation and talk on Coming Face to Face with Hate, a search for a world beyond hate. What this is about was a new poster presentation that was put together by the Kootenai County Task Force on the demise of the Aryan nations and their compound up in Hayden Lake and the grassroots campaign to get rid of it. And they have put together a wonderful poster display that on the talk, and here's an example of one of them, that in order to educate the public on who the Aryan nations were, the campaign, grassroots campaign to stop hate, what ended up happening to them. And they ended up with, as part of the lawsuit, they were donated all of the material that the Aryan nations compound had, so all their photographs and archives that they then archived. Some of it rather disturbing stuff that was in, but some of it is shown in these posters. We're bringing this was a really good turnout, and we're bringing it back for a stint at the high school. So we're going to do one at the high school, and then we're going to do another one at the University of Idaho. Because we had a lot of community members at this one, but we only had about 5 high school students and about that many university students, and so we want to bring it to them so that more of them know about what happened up there, what was going on, and that these grassroots campaigns can make a difference to stop the spread of hate. And here is Tony Stewart speaking at it. We also co-sponsored this talk on the fight for women's right to vote in April at the University of Idaho campus. We've been doing a lot of partnering with various organizations, including the University of Idaho. It saves money that way if we split the cost kind of idea. And then, of course, in April we had our, what was it, 8th, I believe, Moscow Community Walk, which was a pretty good turnout, and Mayor Lambert read a proclamation at it. Bruce Pittman was there representing the university. UI President Staben could not attend. He was already booked up. I made the mistake of being polite and waiting till he actually got here before requesting his time, and I didn't realize that people already had him booked up the minute after he was hired. He had been booked up for quite a while, and I learned not to be polite about this thing and just jump in there too, or you don't get them. But Bruce Pittman did a wonderful job as part of it all. And Mary Beth Staben, the UI president's wife, did attend with us and walk with us. And so we had dancers, the Merry Missives of Moscow from Moscow Charter School ended up dancing for us. Then we had belly dancers at the square, which were a big hit. By the way, Ghazi loves the belly dancers, because Gazanfar flew in especially for the community walk because he was so instrumental in creating it. He didn't want to miss it, and so he flew in that weekend so that he could attend it, and so that was great. And so here we are moving towards the park. The marimba group entertained us on stage. We had a nice lunch, and then bookmark contest winners were awarded. And the bookmarks, I think most of them are probably gone now. The 4 winners we reproduced and gave out free copies to all the school libraries, the public library and book people, but they tend to go fairly quickly. The display of all of the Bookmark entries is at Book People, so I recommend people stopping in to take a look at it. We had some wonderful entries from kindergarten through fifth graders that entered the contest, and so there was some really, really nice stuff. It made it a hard decision to pick the winners. The winners were awarded $25 gift certificate to Book People, which they donated to us. So they donated the runner-up prizes and the winners' prizes. This year we did a tree with leaves on it, and everyone that was at the park would put what basically roots them to the community, how they're connected to the community to fill up this tree. And then we had a pretty good turnout considering it was freezing that morning. And so we had about 260 or so, 270 people that showed up, walked with us, and ate with us, even though it was rather chilly, but it wasn't raining. So we were happy about that one because it rained the day before. All right, and that brings us back to this one. Now, what we're also planning for the upcoming year, we are partnering with the Fair and Affordable Housing Commission to put together a social justice forum on renters' rights and these types of things. The Syringa issue that was happening brought this up, that we decided to work together and bring some type of educational, informational event to the public. What that exactly is, we're not sure yet because it's still in the planning stages. It may be some speakers. It may be a informational fair type thing where lots of different groups will be present showing different information on renting, that type of thing. We are also bringing in here soon a multimedia music presentation dealing with LGBT issues seen through music. And so that we're working on to bring that one in. And it's supposed to be quite the show of taking from Stonewall to the present, taking a look at music and the LGBT community. So we're planning on that one. And then continuing to grow the Northwest Coalition for Human Rights. Those are the things that are kind of on the agenda for the next coming few months anyway. And so I guess any questions?
Well, Ken, thank you for your leadership, of course, on this commission and the rest of the commissioners that do this work with you as well. And I just got to say, like that April 26th, last Saturday when we did that past Saturday, that community walk was very, very exciting, and it was attended by a number of people, as you said, well over 200, 260, I believe is what you said, and that was a fun day and a fun event. And Ghazi Ghazenfar, and I go back 30 years with Ghazi because one of his sons went to school with my oldest boy all the way through grade school and high school, so I've known the Ghazenfars for many, many years, and it was really a treat to see him and his wife here for that event. And so I'm hoping he can come to it next year. But
yeah, that's his plan. As long as he can get on an airplane and get here, he doesn't want to miss a community walk.
Absolutely, that's terrific because he was the one that started it and originated it, like you said. Questions for Ken from the board, council?
No, great work. I'm
Oh,
excited to see all the things that we're involved in.
And out there in TV land, we need 4 applicants to come in and help fill us up. I know what it's like to be on a commission. You have a limited amount of people to make a quorum so you can make things happen. So I'm very interested in looking for applications on that.
Yep,
Ken.
we would love more members. It makes the work easier when we have more people to take it on. We get fresh ideas. All of that's great.
Absolutely.
So, and just not so people aren't scared, I run a really quick, tight meeting. We don't waste time, so you're not in there forever.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, we're all busy. We don't want to waste time.
Sure.
So,
Well, thank you very much for your service and your
Okay.
good work on it, Ken.
thank you.
You bet.